Hey everyone, either welcome back or welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I want to talk about what it means when I say a preventative is there to help prevent bad days, but may not necessarily be successful in actually preventing a bad day from occurring. So before I get into any more details, time for the intro. A lot of people know that those of us with migraines who have a lot of migraines usually end up on some type of preventative medication. I'm actually on one of them myself. I am on one of the anti-CGRP medications. But what I don't think a lot of people understand about having these types of medications around is that they're not perfect. So just because we're on a preventative medication doesn't mean that we're not going to have trouble with migraines still. It just means that it usually happens at a little less frequent rate. And some of the migraines that I do actually have, and this is with me that I've noticed, I don't know if this is actually verified in the research, but I've noticed since I've been on these preventative medications that my migraines are also less severe when I do get them. What it means is that when somebody is on a migraine preventative medication, they may be still able to experience migraines. And it happens because it's not perfect. It happens because I honestly wonder what the mechanisms are of migraines, and I think the amount of that it helps you is going to depend on what kind of is underlying. What's the underlying reason why you're having a migraine? Now, I don't have any research to verify this, but I often do wonder if the IIH has caused me to have migraines. And one of the reasons why I actually think my preventative medications are helping me as much as they are is because of the pathway that the preventative medication that I'm on is actually working on. So with the anti-CGRP medication preventatives, it's working on a molecule called CGRP, which has been found in pain regulation. And what happens is that they've noticed that there's an increase in CGRP when people are experiencing migraines. And the reason why I wonder if these are related, and this is just me thinking out loud, I have no evidence to back this up, but it does make intuitive sense based upon what I remember learning about this in school, is if the IIH and the pain around that caused some sensitization in my head, and this has resulted in what is now migraines, even though all of the rest of the IIH symptoms have gone away. And I honestly believe this is backed up too, because there's been recent research showing that one of these particular medications called Aimovig can actually help people who are in ocular remission with IIH. I'm going to put up an article right here so you can check it out, and it'll also be linked in the description so you guys can check it out. But basically, they've done trials with people who are in remission with IIH and found that there's benefits for people taking these medications. Why is it important to understand that people can still experience migraines even when they're on a preventative? And I think this basically kind of answers itself, but the reason why it's important is so that you understand that just because your friend, family member, coworker is on one of these preventative medications, it doesn't mean that everything is going to be 100%. In fact, they're still likely going to be having a few days to several days, because those of us with chronic migraine can still have several days even after being on a preventative where we're experiencing migraines. But I think honestly it's so important to talk about this, because it's important for people to understand that it's still possible to have a migraine. And yes, these medications do work really well, but they're not perfect. And people need to understand that you still likely will be experiencing migraines despite being on a preventative. I think that's important for people around you to understand, but I also think it's really important for the patients to understand too, because if you go into something expecting that it's going to be 100%, you're going to end up disappointed when you still end up getting migraines. I know when I went into the whole idea of having preventative given to me, my first thought was, okay, awesome. If we can just prevent a few of these, that would be awesome. I never went into it expecting 100%. So when I get like even 70-80%, it's a huge victory in my opinion. I don't know exactly how many it's preventing. I don't know, because you're either on one path or you're on the other. I don't know how you can really honestly compare the two, but unless you're comparing to what you had before, and honestly, I don't remember life without a headache before being on the preventatives. And now I get quite a few days actually where I'm not experiencing migraine symptoms really to much extent at all. There's usually some type of pain, as I've said. I'm usually at a 3 to 4 on my scale that I've talked about, but it's nothing like it used to be, and I consider that just as much of a victory when you're not in a severe pain or you're not experiencing the symptoms that you were, and you're able to get a little bit more of that quality of life back and be able to get back to some of the things that you enjoy. In my opinion, that's just as valuable, if not sometimes more valuable, than 100% prevention. It's been pretty nice just, looking back at how much I struggled like a year ago and going, I am feeling so much better. It's not 100%, but I feel like this is a victory now compared to what I was dealing with before. And I've accepted the fact that I'm not likely to get back to where I was before I was diagnosed with IIH, and then the migraines came afterwards, as you guys know. I feel like I'm just never going to reach that. I've kind of accepted that. But probably if I was to really introspect, there would be a part of me that wishes I could go back to 100% feeling well. But I think I've just come to the point now where I've just accepted this reality of things aren't going to get back to where they were before. There's just kind of an acceptance that comes along with it now. If you're enjoying my content, please feel free to subscribe. Remember that it's completely free. It just allows us to reach more people with IIH and migraines. When you're subscribing, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss any of my upcoming future content. If you enjoyed this particular video, be sure to give it a like. If you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, be sure to like and follow. And as for now, that's it for today. Bye everyone.